Alright, so we're group 2. I'm Daniel.
Collins. Tony.
And our game is College of the Dead, as you can see by the picture. Pretty much it's going to be like a comedy slash strategy slash RPG tactical turn-based game. So if you play like this guy, Fire Emblem, Tactics Ogre, anything like that, it's going to be relatively familiar. So it's going to be a 2D square grid layout, so we can focus more on getting the game set up than having to worry about art assets just to get like game that you want to play. And primarily developed for PC, you could probably turn into an iOS game in the future if it turns out well, because these games now, I can pretty much see how iPhone you can pretty much just drag from one end to another end. So it looks pretty intuitive from there. And we haven't decided on an engine yet, so we're still researching that. So pretty much the story is, students start off at college, pretty much like imagine yourself, you get out of class, holy crap, zombie invasion. So you have to like get students, I'll talk about the class a little bit later. Pretty much choices that you make in the game actually alter your path. So like you can choose to either run, find people to save, or bunker down someplace, gather resources, and that'll then like branching paths to like almost the same goal or possibly different endings based on what you've done. So it's more like you actually want to play this game over and over to see, what if I did this, what if I did that? And yeah, the end goal is to survive to pretty much rid yourself of the zombie infestation. We want the target audience to be people who may or may not be interested in RTS. It's going to be kind of like a simplified version of it, so more people can pick it up. So it's not like you feel like, oh, I don't like strategy games, so I don't want to play it, but I actually want to find out the story. It's going to be a bit simpler than that, so you can still get the gameplay out of it without feeling like you can't do it. And E10 or higher rating, it may or may not change depending on how like gory the combat might actually get. But we want to make it, again, available to a wider audience. So, again, for PC, we can have either standard keyboard controls, like WASD, arrow keys, enter, and you can, the Xbox controller can be easily interfaced to the computer, so if you prefer to play with a gamepad, you can probably do that. And if you decide to go with the iOS, touchpad controls would work, obviously. Game mechanics, like I said, it's a turn-based combat system. Completely strategy related. What I want to do is eliminate the need for grinding, leveling. Like you want to feel like you have to do a mission a certain amount of times to level up. You're going to have a certain level, or not a level, you're just going to have classes. And those classes, based on how you want them set up, can get things done better. So like for some encounters, you may have like a lot of flying enemies. So you want to have people who can hit from range. So it's pretty much based on your strategy, not having the most overpowered things. And we want to make it a bit more serious if the character actually dies, so you actually care about it. So like in Fire Emblem, if you lost the unit, you lost them for good. Like there's no taking back, which is a bit more connected. You get a bit more connected to your characters. Like in a zombie infection, if someone dies, that's it, pretty much in real life. Well, not real life, but any zombie movie you see, if someone dies, they die for good. They don't just come back. So I want to make it a bit more serious. Yeah. Want to also make it so it's not the same game over and over. Like you don't want to skip through the first mission. The maps will be like randomly generated. There'll be different enemies. Well, the same enemies, there's just different layout, so it's not just the same encounter over and over if you want to start the game over. Character classes, just to make it more collegey, you have like the freshmen, you have the professor, the jocks, different types of majors, congress member, dogs. These are like each have their own specific feature. Like the freshman will like have a ton of books that they can like smash around. The jocks will be huge, they can charge people. The professors, I haven't thought of that, but I thought it would be pretty cool. This congress members could just like annoy the crap out of enemies.
And flyers?
Yeah, flyers, like, I was thinking more like the science engineering, like you throw bombs or like you make little airplanes and like shoot them and stuff. Possible AI concepts, these are just right off the ones that we can see, like pathfinding to try to get the enemies to go to the players. So it's like imminent, like you actually feel like people are chasing you, which is what zombies do. They're brainless, they go to you, they try to kill you. Terrain analysis, because you're going to have like certain elevated positions, like you always want to be on higher ground, but they can get to you slowly, so you want to try to work with that. Command hierarchy, just to make sure they all have like a common goal. Obstacle avoidance, again, to progress to like fences and stuff to get around to you. Trigger systems, like let's say zombies low on health, they're gonna like enrage or like do something that'll be like override, like mostly for like big boss things. And influence maps, pretty much.
What we're thinking of doing is having, I guess, rescuable NPCs that are spread out across the levels, and that there's going to be subsets of zombies that are oriented on them. And the more zombies that are in that NPC's field of vision, they'll begin to get, like, their panic meter will go up, and if their panic meter fills all the way, then they're going to run around and probably turn into a zombie and get eaten. If you can save them before they panic, then they'll probably give you some kind of boon for end game thing, or they might, like, let's say if you rescued the school nurse or something, you might get some kind of inoculation against a certain type of zombie strain, or like one bite perhaps or something like that. So, or it might change the end game ending. Yeah.
Alright, so pretty much future plans and goals. We want to make it a fun game that it's not just button mashing, but you just get to think about it, so it's more like mentally satisfying. It's like, oh cool, I did this level with only this. I feel awesome. Might make it easy to learn, so you get into it quick, but hard to master. Like, some levels require a lot of thinking, while others can be solved by a relatively easy solution if you think of it. Like, oh, I could have thought of that, just use that one unit instead of like an army. So it's more like, more interactive. High replay values, we want you to actually go play through the game multiple times, discover all the choices you can make, see the story that plays out, see the characters you can get, bonus items, and possibility for expansion. Like, let's say, instead of just zombies out of school, it could be zombies somewhere else, or aliens, or robots, or something, for the same type of like setting. Well, not setting, but concept of the game. Any questions?
I love the idea. It's a good concept. It sounds like a good idea for a game.
Cool. Thank you. Yep.
Were you referring to High School of the Dead?
Yes, that image from High School of the Dead. I pretty much combined High School of the Dead with this guy with a couple other games, and it's like, it sounds like a pretty good idea.
Are you going to follow this? Are you going to
No, it's completely different side forward.
We might pull concepts from High School of the Dead, but we're not going to follow it canonically.
Yep.
How often do you get to change your classes? You said that.
You get to choose what you want to have with you at the beginning of every encounter.
Think of it like the party composition system in, I guess, Final Fantasy or like Super Mario RPG, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Is there any like variety of zombies that you fight, or is it just like?
Like I said, there was going to be like ground ones, so like flying ones. There's going to be bigger ones, smaller ones, faster ones. Yeah. So the units that you have actually have an impact on what you are going to go against.
Okay, let's thank them.